but I will say that that is improving. Mayfield, where we're damage. Long touchdown. Over 220. In my it was joined by maybe many more. Since midnight, Western Kentucky and its people were at ground zero. So 40 hours in, first we're grateful. All through the evening, out heroism. And they see from other cities, the federal government. We're grateful for the outpouring of it from all of life. Right now is organizing the amount of people, but that's the best challenge that any of us could ask for. So we declared midnight before the storm hit. That's a state of emergency. We've now been granted. It was security to FEMA and to President Biden himself. Guard has been deployed. Guard. Many of these communities, we don't have doors anymore. They're for survivors, but we can also helping out in law enforcement capacity where needed. Of truck we can find, and let me tell you today in that cabinet, Division of Forest removed all over the state, including help in search and rescue. We're now working on getting on a daily basis until service is restored. Relief fund at bonded $3 million. Our families here. Grants that we're going to be rolling out to do is grieve together, and we're going to do that. Today we can also announce that our state parks are open. Homes, we're taking them in. They can worry about finding their relatives to eat. We've opened Lake Bar River, which can help the folks in Muhlenberg, helping the people. Well, what they are doing. And to check. And we are still lower death count than what I wish I. And now the worst tornado in our history. What I do. That's don't here, and we're here in 13 shelters, but only have 6 each other into. We're going to will rebuild and move forward. We're going to get through this together. Have both the Secretary, the head administrator for federal FEMA with us less than 40 hours after this event began. Federal helping us to know what we can ask. All of them. That starts with the yesterday alone. Senator it up, but we hear from Alejandro for and here for our people.
And our teams visited the Candle earlier today. We had the opportunity to thank on site the tragedy that this of Kentucky. We learned of a telephone that was recovered, a cell phone that Miss brothers stated. We will are here today. I want to make here physically today, tomorrow. Recovery is complete. Exploration of Kentucky in a time like this. Indeed, what we have done, local personnel, the people. We also visited, saw first responders of the disaster. Continue to respond to the needs of others. Responders into all of the for the well-being of others. And heard her expression of resolve about disasters is the need to lean forward and move personnel that we have done. FEMA assistance teams to Kentucky to help lead the federal effort on the ground. Damage assessment teams standing at the ready to support the rescue operation. FEMA is helping deliver food to communities. The governor for Kentucky giving this Commonwealth resources for this response. FEMA by this thing we can every Deanne Criswell for further details. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. And just to all of the people, each and every one of you, magic event. But I want you to know that the nation is with you, and for all the tragedy, to recognize those first put forth over the last are just incredible. We're going through, or their these to me ourselves in harm's way to make sure that my heart. Thank you. Heard incredible stories from rubble. All of the effort that we did have a couple of county and Marshall County. And as you heard we've been watching this, standing there from a picture. See all of the devastation around until you're there, which is why it's so important for providing the right level of assistance and your ongoing recovery. Executives, where the governor brought them. The things that we heard are housing. To go forward, power, the rebuilding process, because how sending in one of our housing strategy for how we're going to be able to help with the long-term housing needs. Part of there too for a major disaster. Quickly to start with the disaster declaration. Go to disasterassistance.gov available. Allow us to help with the that's been damaged by this. Go to disaster assistance available. And you're to we somebody walking around with the had need to. They should be on the ground. And this does your federal family together to the duration of the recovery. And Governor, you have this long recovery that you're going to be faced with. Thank you.
One of the emergency declaration that I've ever heard of, and they had, it's everything that we, it also reminded me of we're standing and who needed help. Can you imagine to help people when your home didn't even? I also meant there, I do want to thank AT&T, which phones back up. They were having trouble communicating. Director of Kentucky Emergency.
Again, our lost a rank among Tricia and I, the administrator for Region 4, nothing more than as was indicated, assistant just received an email not 2 minutes. Our expert by the governor, and then it'll be forwarded to Gracia. So thank you for the quick response. We've talked about, we have the federal that several more to assist in other areas of in the works disaster with us. There are that'll go downrange and assist us in. That's what's going to be primary in this disaster. That team will be here. Plan to move forward, bringing new housing into construction. This doesn't happen overnight, but the process is starting immediately. John is my counterpart in the FEMA process. John is our. He was here for the ice storm and for the. No stranger to what we need here in Kentucky, and he'll be working this disaster too. Tour today. We met with a lady by the name of Jenna Adams, who is a council person for the mayor, and she was so what Kentuckians do with other Kentuckians. To deal with her wash in the washing machine that was going to ruin because the power was out, and she was dealing with the aftermath of some recovery issues. And she talked about what neighbors are doing, and we saw it for ourselves, as we've all done in the past. Thanking you for your efforts, thanking you for Kentuckians being Kentuckians and doing what we do. Thank you.
Every single hard successfully for the steps that we need. They have been supportive even when we have the congressman from this, and that's Congressman James Comer.
Response, his response. I want to thank Secretary Maracas, and be an effort that's going to take local, state, and federal cooperation. That we had a meeting prior to this press conference with the local elected officials in the county. Already spoken about the immediate needs of power, of water restoration. Going to be working together. This isn't going to happen overnight. Speaking the other communities adversely affected, they all come back, and that's West Kentucky. People that have a sense of going to be there cooperating on.
Thank you. Next up, we has been different ways. We call on them to do so much. Most recently, they were helping to staff our overrun hospitals. Every community they're in, the morale, we're going to make it. So here's General Larkin to give us an update.
Slightly over, as the governor mentioned, 300 soldiers and airmen, 106 of which are here in Graves County. Augmentation, search and rescue, route. We continue to anticipate the needs, and we continue to process. We are proud to serve the Commonwealth, and we fight as Kentuckians.
First person scene. And when I first of that candle, they're all our people. Of hers that she serves. And we love you. Mayor O'Neill.
One of the greatest and especially my hometown, that my they came, they called in the Commonwealth. When in Mayfield, I walked of our city government. Our fire station was paint of that isn't shattered. With so much rubble. I looked at tried not to cry a lot. And I looked at that had just recently flown at that fire station. Street, and I moved bricks aside. And I went to them and handed it to them, and immediately held it with the most respect. As gently and as beautiful. I've had that flag home. It may look in the future. And in the future, we will raise another flag. Everything that's happened here. Look forward to that day. And I want to thank the media. I hear that very much. You're telling our story. We are tight. We may squabble and disagree. Work to build us.
Open it up to questions. Just let us know who your question.
Can you tell us whether Candle Factory alive over the circumstances?
On the candle factory, believes he has some. Haven't made.
Governor, can you give us some hard numbers? After the investigation.
We had that we were talking. Information, but until we can verify. Yesterday. There were 110 or so people. Rescues with different individuals. Praying. We've lost, we're wrong. It's going to be pretty wonderful, but we well, we're going to, and that assessment is going to take some time, but ever.
I just is a pile of rubble. Help they need.
Are they here in Grace County? Grace County response. Yeah. So we're dropping water at the there from different groups. Michael?
Governor, there's a
On the way to assist.
That's, right now you're just trying to still save lives and assess everything. Their works. Tornadoes.
Right. I mean, every time we rebuild, we want to be more resilient. And structure that can ultimately hold up brick or some in the past. Animals and the rest just can be more resilient. Is so powerful. We are just people in the first 8 hours. Significant count. We know that we're going to have double digits. Again, I think the best that we can hope for would be the 50. But I think it's going to be significantly worse than that. Bodies. I mean, we've got cadaver dogs in town.
But ballpark, how many people might be without home?
Oh, thousands. I have an exact number of we have our main focus.
How many confirmed deaths?
Confirmed until the person is fully identified and the family is notified. You have the confirmed number, Michael, or others? I think as we've seen more events like this, we just need to be more upfront about the possibilities for those families. For each of them, I'm really sorry. You're not supposed to lose people the way we've lost them these last 2 years, and you're not supposed to lose people like this, and to not know and to not have the information has got to make it that much harder.
Do you know if anyone here in this room has information about how many people have been reported missing to the Griggs County coroner?
Do we have a mayor report on total number of missing? Yeah, it's and the challenge is we'll have the reports that come in. We'll try to compile and move some volunteers that are there that create the list. In Dawson Springs, it was multiple pages, single spaced, with communications down is the real challenge, right? When your cell phones don't work in these communities, exactly how do you find people to truly know? Just difficult. Up and going, we're sending a large generator to school, and they are staging grounds that I know in to tomorrow, and that work. Sure.
They can go to
His house. And it's going to take time to get the school systems back up and functioning. Counties, we've got some that are primarily back in school as quickly as we can get that. For others, like here.
You mentioned yesterday, were some given the option to leave? What was
Yeah. In the factory, I do know those who have that it appears 2 shelters. Moving to could be, but this thing got hit by the strongest tornado we could have possibly imagined. That I believe that they are trained to go to, and we do. But again, this is information coming from some who be there. Operation right now is recovery. I'm weeks a year, one at Christmas. They'd all sing and their house and left or right is just. And for folks that see everything, right, left, forward, backwards, miles. It hurt. And they know whose house that is that's not there. In some places faster than others. It depends. On, Marshall County is coming up a little in progress on how many lines are down, how work is really on what exactly has been damaged. I know in Dawson, a generator, or they believe it. Again, in Marshall, stored.
Last night into today. You just
I think we a significant death toll in from the company. Continue to
what they're seeing wins with
that could answer any question.
meteorologist is our meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service. Teams out serve of miles, so there's a lot of ground survey yesterday from south of Case. They turned around. Our indicates of world-renowned and also experts within the National Weather at possibly upgrading. Our hearts go out to each and every person that has been affected by this tornado. And now to us and say how deeply sorry they are for everything that's happened here. But as we get more information, we will definitely release days and a lot of work to do still.
Is that year 3 for Mayfield? Or which part of the county that you?
That's the highest rating that we found along the entire track. And graded through.
Yeah.
And there are locations along the path, Casey, Dawson Springs, Earlington, Bremen, harder hit areas.
How long is that path, miles?
We have not figured out that because the survey's not been completed. As you go south into Tennessee, that's another Weather Service office that is covering that. Covers everywhere east of Muhlenberg County. So again, there's surveys ongoing for the last couple of days, and we still have to figure out exactly how long the path is.
Great. We'll just take one more. And look around. I expect we'll find it's much more severe. So, yeah.
That this kind of extreme weather could be the new normal.
Right now, I can't process where I'm trying to the living, reunite families, and something to eat, get them their medicine. Time we can talk about, and what I'd say, and the help that they need. As soon as we can. Please understand we could not ask for a